Hey, what's up? Good afternoon, good evening. Hello, everyone. Welcome back in to another Friday live. Welcome. And as you come in, do drop where you're joining from. Say hello in the chat. Thank you so much for tuning in to another Friday Live. I'm Karwana D, your government contract strategist. Today, I'm really just going to be having a brief conversation about Black History Month and what it means to me to basically, be a Black business entrepreneur. What does it mean for me, especially during this time of reflection where we're reflecting on all of those who made, basically created a journey before us, before our time. So welcome in. If you're a Black entrepreneur, this video is going to be for you. Minority, brown, those Black and brown entrepreneurs, is definitely going to be for you. In my experience, of course, I've seen most of the time it's been difficult, for various reasons, right? Difficult getting funding, difficult getting people to take us serious for our business, difficult to even sometimes have, family view you as a credible business owner, without wanting some type of discount or hookup or some type of, deal, right? Just because they know you. All right. So for those who are joining me for the first time, I'm Karwana D. I'm a government contract strategist. I help small business owners grow their business with government contracts so they can have, consistent, sustainable income, build a legacy, and all those things. So today, I'm not going to be long with you, but I do kind of want to talk about some of the socioeconomic disadvantages that we have as Black business owners. And so I'm probably going to spend, the next 3 to 4 Fridays just refocusing on Black entrepreneurship and like some of the struggles that we have, some of the solutions that are out there for us to overcome and to really build a business. So hello, one Nadi Trini from Newark, New Jersey. Welcome in. And thank you so much for being here today. So I want to talk about some of the socioeconomic disadvantages that, of course, Black and brown business owners face or have, and sometimes that comes with the just the challenges of not being able to get the funding. How many of you ever was thinking about or tried to actually get or request funding for your startup business, and you've tried to get a credit extended for your business so that you can actually get your business from where it is to where you need to grow? And if that's you, let me know. Trina from Florida, hello. Let me know, and let me know if that has been your struggle. And sometimes we just have struggles just simply because of hey Christina, just because of where we, just where we come from, or just the color of our skin. There's some disadvantages there. Of course, it's no big secret that we've been traditionally marginalized, and shut out from opportunities. And so although there are some opportunities to get ahead, a lot of times, because of the struggles and because of where we've come from and because of the belief system that we've basically been taught to have, we don't take advantage of all of those different type of opportunities that does arrive. And even with those opportunities, still we're still at a disadvantage, right? But you can only get so far, by not taking action. Okay, if I can say that. So the thing is, the great thing about contracting, you guys know, I always talk about government contracting is, um, you know, because of those social economic disadvantages, or like coming from urban communities, being forced out, being gentrified in your communities, or being told no at the bank and having credit challenges and all of those things that we normally say. Normally, people say, I can't do this because of that, right? Or I can't get a loan because I have bad credit, or I can't get funding because I haven't been in business long enough, or I don't have enough revenue in my business yet. But if I can get the funding, then maybe I can do some marketing to get the revenue, right? And it's always like these type of hurdles that we have to overcome. And I'm here to tell you that I understand, I know, I've been there. But guess what? Whatever that thing is that has been preventing you from getting from where you are to where you want to go, all of those things have solutions. There are solutions to that, right? We can fix it, right? So instead of maybe starting thinking we can start here to go there, sometimes we have to take a step back, right? Sometimes you have to take a step back to fix the thing that's keeping you from being able to get to where you want to go, if that makes sense. Because I know that I remember, and this, I used to be like this too. Well, I couldn't qualify for like, a huge, the real type of credit cards that I wanted, like a sizable credit card, because I had bad credit challenges, right? And so sometimes we go there, and that's a finite, it's an infinite thing. Like, oh, I got bad credit, so I can't do this, right? And we sit there, and 5 years down the line, you're still in the same position if you don't do something about it, right? But if you fix that credit, the next year or 6 months, 12 months, or whatever that time period it is takes for you to actually fix that, now you can qualify. So like I said, sometimes you just have to take a step back and see what are the hurdles that's keeping me from getting to where I want to go. Fix those hurdles, right? Sink or swim, however you want to fix it. Fix those hurdles so that you can actually get to where it is that you want to go. So TJ says, however, there is no excuse. There is absolutely no excuse. And let me tell you, and I'm gonna share with you guys, y'all know I keep it all the way 100. There are no excuses in life. We are exactly where we are today because of what we've been doing over the past 5 years. So if over the past 5 years, you've been making excuses, or you've been doing nothing, not taking action, that is the reason why we are standing where we are standing in our very positions that we are today. 5 years ago, I knew I didn't want to be where I was, and so I had to take action to change it. I had to change my narrative, and change the story. Excuse me. I shall we poo poo. Henry. Oh, he want to get up. Oh, he want to get up. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I got you. I got you. It's okay. They be like, you left me. So anyway, so I knew that I didn't want to be where I was 5 years ago today. In order for me to not be in that position, I had to do some things different. And sometimes, we as people, especially brown people, sometimes we don't want to do what we need to do, to change our narrative, to change our stories. Like sometimes you don't want to take that extra step. Sometimes you don't want to spend that extra dime to get your credit fixed and all those things. But if you don't do it, 5 years from now, where will you be? In the same boat, in the same position. And I said that all to say no excuses. I love that TJ said there are no excuses, and you get what you need thanks to technology. Yeah, you can get what you need. Absolutely. The reason why I say that, I'm a new mom all over again, right? And I'm doing this, I'm building a legacy with a baby. So for all those moms who's like, oh, I have to defer my dreams now because I have a baby, there are no excuses. Strap that baby on your chest, on your back, or whatever, however you got to do it by any means necessary. You have a job to do, and you have to get there by any means necessary. Another case in point, 3 years ago, so my husband, 3 years ago, 2019, my husband got hit by a texting driver, lost his leg. And when a black man loses his leg, right? We're talking about amputation, like lost his leg in the accident, almost lost his mind because of that, right? But he persevered because he knew he had a bigger thing that he needed to accomplish, right? Because we've always been on this, we're going to build us a legacy. We're going to feed our children's children and all that stuff. And so 6 months later, lost his mom, the queen, right? Lost his mom. 6 months after that, lost his 22-year-old daughter, right? And so did we stop? No. Of course we mourn. Of course, of course it hurts. Of course you lose huge parts of yourself, your soul, your everything. But at the end of the day, you still have to persevere, and persevere because of those losses, right? Because of those losses. And the great thing about how he was able to bounce back is, like, I'm wearing our legacy right now. And I'm going to try to show you guys. So it says, let me see, does it say it on this side? This side. So it says Guapo Forever, G4. That is a legacy brand that he actually built in memory of, his baby girl, Deja, who suddenly passed away unexpectedly, to build her legacy, right? He did that to build her legacy. Now, the sweatsuits sell like crazy. And the reason why I say that is because her too, and we try to instill entrepreneurship in all of our children. She was like, I'm building a legacy. And she used to always say Guapo Forever, which means money. Like, I'm getting money forever, right? And so that's where the brand came from. And so when, instead of wearing Nike, instead of wearing other people's brand or whatever, Adidas and all that stuff, we wear our legacy. That's what we do. And so I said that all that to say to encourage you, like, no matter where it is that you are, whatever's going on, you still have the responsibility and the duty to build your legacy business. It's Black History Month. You know, there's some people who came before us and who built a legacy, and we're talking about their history. What about yours? Right, you have a history to build as well. And so Guapo Forever is our brand. You see our little ticker, Guapo Forever Life. That's where you can go, but it's a whole brand of sweatsuits. We're actually going to be coming out with Guapo Forever, the baby line. So my son is going to be the model for the baby line, but it's just in honor of who we lost, but also to celebrate just her mindset of understanding how to build legacy. So that is what we're doing. But anyway, I said all that to say that there's some folks, there's in our history, there's some folks that, we don't always hear about all the amazing things that Black business entrepreneurs did before us. Like, we hear about the same Martin Luther Kings and Coretta Scott King, and like the same Harriet Tubman stories, all those things. Like, we hear about those stories, like the Underground Railroad and the Civil Rights March and all those things. But even before that, and even during those times, there were some really great stories being created. And here are some of the, like, I picked out four people that you probably have not heard of. But James Fortune, excuse me, James Fortune, he was a man from Philadelphia who actually invented a cell making device that enabled him to create a highly profitable business. And this was back in the 1830s. Now, his worth back in the 1830s was 100,000. Today, that is worth $2.5 million. And he did that during slavery in the 1830s, during slavery, right? But people don't talk about that. These are some of the stories we don't hear. So he created a device that allows you to sail, right? So then we have Stephen Smith, grew up as an indentured servant in Pennsylvania. And he was assigned to work in a lumber yard. So he started off working in a lumber yard. And after buying his freedom for $50, he actually started his own lumber company, right? He invested whatever, his money at the time. He invested a little bit of money and actually ended up building a what is worth $13 million in today's time. It was $500,000 back then in the 1800s, right? So he took his money, invested in his freedom, and then invested in his business and became a multimillionaire in those times. We're talking about the 1800s, right? What did these people do? That a lot of small business owners, especially Black business owners, that have not done, who have not been able to move the needle forward for themselves, right? They didn't take I'm a slave as an excuse, right? They said, I want to build a legacy for my family, and they invested to be able to get that done. Another person, Robert Gordon, born a slave in 1846, 1847, he invested $15,000 in a Cincinnati coal yard and became a multimillionaire. He was nearly worth $5 million today, what was $200,000 back in the day. In the 1800s, coal, right? So he invested the little money that he had, not thinking that it was something that he had to come out of his pocket to pay. And because y'all don't have the money, I'm not going to build this 2.4 or $5 million company, but by any means necessary, I'm going to get what I need so I can get to where I want to go, right? Same for Sierra Brown, an ex-slave who was in Colorado in the late 1500s. You can look this stuff up. She established a laundry business. See, so we've been in business for a long time. We've been doing this for a long time. So, and on top of that, she served as a midwife and a cook and a nurse's maid. And she used the money that she had, the little money that she had doing those side hustles, to build her own laundry business and actually built a very successful business. So success is not something, that's new. in the millennium is for black businesses. It's something that's been going on, but it's just not enough of us, right? There's a whole generation of just missing entrepreneurs. Where are you, right? Or struggling entrepreneurs. Where are you? And I said all that to say, hopefully what I'm saying is resonating with you, because today I'm not going to be before you long, simply because there's a handful of entrepreneurs, you all, who actually raised their hand and said, I want your help. I want you to help me actually build my legacy business. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So I'm actually going to be cutting this live halftime, so that I can actually go over to sit down and personally help a handful of very important people build their legacy business over a 90-day sprint. And we're actually going to be looking at positioning and bidding on government contracting, and I'm actually going to personally help them. So I am here to personally help you too. So if you stay to the end, I'm going to show you like first steps to getting there. But TJ say yes. It is really all about that, because every year Black History comes around. Like, what are we doing to contribute to that, right? Because history is going to happen regardless. Like 20, 30, 50 years from now, what you're doing today is going to be a part of that history. So what are you doing to contribute to those stories? And will somebody know your story? Those are really important questions, to really ask yourself. And so anyway, I said all that to say also that here we are in a day and time to where now we know, right? So for those who have been following me, and if you have been following me for over a year and you're not doing this, you haven't found, that you can leverage your business to generate wealth and to create a legacy, then this is probably not going to be, I don't even know why. Maybe you just like to be on here. I don't really know. If you're not doing this, I don't know what you are doing. Okay, I'm gonna check it, TJ. I don't know what, if you've been following me that long and or have not started the journey to getting government contracts, because your business is the vehicle. Government contracts is the fuel that can drive your vehicle to help you get there faster. So, and let me show you exactly what I mean by that. For those who are watching and listening to me right now, I want you to think about this. And this is like something that I learned from my coach, that was really mind blowing. But I definitely still do want to share with you all too. So for those who are listening and watching me right now, I want you to think about, what are the two biggest expenses that you have in your life, right? Whatever those are. If you're joining me right now doing a live, type it in the chat. If you're watching a replay, type it in hashtag replay. And if you are listening to the podcast, write it down. What are the two biggest expenses that you have, that you believe your two biggest expenses that you have? What are they? And type it in the chat. And I'm gonna share with you some things that's going to hopefully change the way that you think about yourself as a Black entrepreneur, and the possibilities that are on the table, and what we are missing out on every single day that we're not taking action. Because there's a cause and there's a result for everything that we decide to do, but there's also a reaction for everything that we do not decide to do, because not taking action is a decision, right? And there's a reaction for every decision. Okay, so most people would say, some of the things I see, some of the answers coming in, what are your two biggest expenses that in life that you think you have? Most of the people, and I'm gonna tell you the number. I'm gonna tell you the number two biggest expense that we have. Some people say real estate. How many of you are thinking real estate? Series $15,000. Wow, my photography workshop series is $15,000 a class. That's a lot, Valerie. Some people think real estate. If you thought your mortgage was the biggest expense, let me know that. House mortgage. Yes. I see you. House mortgage. What else? Some people think their car note, is the biggest expense that they have. Some people think children are the biggest expense that they have. But let me share. I'm going to share. Let me see if I can share my screen. I'm going to share something that's going to be mind opening. Hopefully it opens your mind to what's really going on, right? So can y'all see? Yeah, okay, y'all should be able to see this. So let me see if I can pull my right. No, maybe I can't. Actually, He's faking. He like the fake cry. Okay, so let me just try it like this. Okay, so the biggest expense, I'm gonna write it directly on here with this new tool that I found. Somebody says, my dreams and ideas, willing to invest and stop making excuses. Yes, absolutely. You have to be willing to invest. That is the only thing in that successful people have in common. They invest. You have to learn to invest because guess what? We want the return on investment, the ROI. So the biggest expense actually that everyone has, the number two, and then I'm going to show you what the first biggest expense that we all have in common. And this is true regardless of who you are in the world. The number one biggest expenses is taxes. Can y'all see it? Can y'all see that? Can y'all see my screen? Taxes. Did you not know that the government taxes every single person 51% of every dollar you make? Did you not know that? And you may say, well, I'm in the, the 20%, tax bracket, or I'm in the 10% tax bracket, or whatever you think. And here's why. Here's why I say that. Because number one, every single dollar that you make, whenever you make money, you have to pay what? Income tax, right? When you make money, you have to pay income tax. Then you take that money after you've paid income tax and you go purchase something, we have to pay sales tax, right? Now you invest in something and you make money off of that investment. Now we have to pay capital gains tax, right? Then you you own purchase property, right? And now we have to pay property taxes. So we're taxed multiple times. This is the sneak attack. This is the sneak tax that you don't see. So we don't see it because all we think about is we have to pay annual taxes, where you're taxed all the time, multiple times. And God forbid you passed away, something should happen. Now you got to pay death tax. It's called a probate tax or estate taxes. There's taxes on everything. So for every dollar that we spend or that we make, we have to pay 51 cents off of every dollar to Uncle Sam, right? For every $10, that's $5.51 off every $10, right? For every $100, that's $51 dollars, and off of every $10 or what did I say? $100, right? And then for every $500 or for every $1,000, that's $551 off every $500, and so on, right? Off every $1,000 and so on, right? So after every $1 million, that's $551,000 that we're paying in taxes. Did you not know that? It's called sneak tax, right? And so here's the reason why a lot of us in our communities, we struggle paycheck to paycheck, is because we don't understand what's going on. We only can see what's directly affecting us, but there's some things that indirectly affect us. It's financial literacy, right? So the reason why the rich get rich is because they understand all of these taxes that they're being taxed, and really the money that we thought we took home to and thought we had, we really don't have in the first place. But how many of you would like to know how to keep more money in your pocket? Entrepreneurship is the way to do that. Having a business, but your business gives you the opportunity to write off things, to minimize the amount of taxes, keep more money in your pocket. And this is the reason why it's important for you as an entrepreneur to know how to make money. You have to know how to make money, and you have to know how to make it quicker, faster, right? And so I always say, if you've ever been a part of my challenge, I always talk about everyone here is a millionaire, right? Because just think about it. Even if you worked for someone over a 20, 30-year period, let's just say minimum you were making $80,000 a year. Even if you did that, at some point you've exceeded $1 million. Like everyone here has already been $1 million. The thinking when you look back on every dime that you've spent and made over the past 20, 30 years, you spent more than $1 million. So you've been millionaire multiple times. So you are already a self-made millionaire. So the question is, how do we get more money back into our pocket? How do we keep a lot more of those millions of dollars in our pocket? So even on when it comes to entrepreneurship, most Black business owners, most small businesses, most small business owners who are just getting started or who haven't really figured out how to fuel their business, which is their vehicle to grow the revenues faster. Let's just say that they're high earners, right? Maybe have earned about $80,000 a year in their business, right? Can we just say that number? Whatever that number is for you, I want you to write it down. But let's just say you're a really good earner in business, and you probably make about $120,000, right? So I'm going to put this here. A high earner small business can make at least $120,000 a year easily. But knowing that we all have the potential to make $1 million a year minimum, especially if you're selling to the government, and especially if you're selling with the right player, right? We have the ability to make $1 million. So for every year that you're not doing that, let me show you what you're missing out on. This is $1 million. So I want you to take whatever your number is of what you're making in your business. If you're only making 20,000, put that. If you're only making 50,000, put that. Whatever your number is, I want you to write it down. And then I want you to put $1 million on top of that, right? 1 million on top of that number. And then you subtract the bottom number, whatever your number is, subtract your bottom number from the top number. And if you're at least a high earner entrepreneur, right, at minimum, that's $880,000 that you're missing out on that you should be making. You should be making, right? And you can do that with 4 contracts. And I can show you exactly how to do that. Minimum 4 contracts. You can do this annually. 4 is a lot less than 1,000 individual customers. So hear me when I say this, because this is like, I'm serious. And today, like, this is the real deal, Holyfield. Like, seriously, this is what you're missing out on every single year, whatever your number is. If you're a high earner entrepreneur and you make at least 120,000, you're leaving every single year $880,000 in on the table. That's on the table. They're saying we're looking for Black businesses. We're looking for minority-owned businesses. Where are you? We have these contracts that are set aside specifically for you. And if you're not doing that, and you're saying that you want to be a millionaire, and you're saying that you want to make millions in your business, then wake up. It's time to wake up. Like, seriously, it's really time to wake up, because guess what? Even with let's just say Uncle Sam is, taxing us 51%, which he is, right? If you were making $1 million a year, that would still leave you $500,000, at home. That'll still leave $500,000 at home for you and your family. Right. And as a business owner, we can actually minimize even more, because now you have write-offs. You can write off your salary, your investments, your consulting, your education, everything that you spent and you have invested. We can put more of this back in your pocket. But it all starts with, now, if you are at the point to where you are, I can't do this because I don't have the funding, or I can't do this because I don't have the credit to actually get a loan to be able to pay for it, let's fix that. Whatever that hurdle is, because you don't want to leave this money on the table anymore. I know you don't, right? I'm pretty sure you don't want to leave that money on the table. And so here's what I am doing. In February, this month, Black History Month, the week of February 21st, I'm having a 5-day challenge. The 5-day challenge, I'm going to personally help small business owners understand how to get pre-qualified. I'm going to walk you through step by step and help you get pre-qualified to sell to the government. And this is going to be for you, whether you've started the process and still haven't gotten contracts, or this is brand new and you want to know how to get started. I want to challenge you today to get started with the 5-day challenge. And here's where you will go to sign up. No excuses. It does not matter what the situation, what the circumstance is. It does not matter. There's no excuses. I want you to join me in the 5-day challenge. If you go to govconchallenge.com and enroll, we're going to help you over the 5-day period understand exactly who's buying what you're selling, how to sell to them, how to put your business in position, how to qualify as a contractor so that you can sell to them, and all of those other things that you need to know to move the needle forward. So if you're with me, let me know that you're with me. Post that in the chat. When you go to that page, it's not a free challenge. There is a minimum investment. And of course, there's a payment plan on there as well. But if you're planning on joining me, let me know, because I'm going to personally sit back and help you. It's like sit down, like you get to pick my brain. I'm going to help you get pre-qualified to sell to the government so you too can build a legacy business, put more money back into your pocket so that you actually can see those millions in your bank account, not count them over a 20-year period and say, yeah, I've had millions over a 20-year period, but count them $1 million every single year and some, right? So here's another thing. My client Gloria, who it's too late. I'm ready, paid in full. It's too late. No. So Valerie, we'll have our team reach out to you. If you can always upgrade to VIP. So for VIPs during the challenge, if you upgrade to VIP, you actually get to sit on, the training directly with me in the training and actually ask me specifically questions for your business, and I'm going to help you. So you definitely want to become VIP if you're not VIP, but definitely this is something that we're doing. And I was going to say, so my client Gloria, who landed her first $500,000 contract, $250,000 contract, started in the challenge. So this is the reason why it's important to start somewhere, but start in the challenge, right? Because I'm going to help you. Not only that, now Gloria lost her father during the challenge. Oh, I'm back on. Sorry, I don't even know what I just said. So anyway, the number one biggest experience outside of taxes is ignorance. Right? Ignorance costs us more than the money that I just showed you, because we don't know what we don't know. And it's the things, the invisible things, just like we're invisibly being taxed 51% of our income. It's the things that we don't know that hold us back. So so people just think, so a lot of times we think, oh, well, I can't pay, or I don't want to invest $1,000 to make $1,000,000. Like, that's crazy, right? I don't have the $1,000 to make $1,000,000, but it's more than the $1,000 that you're investing. When you're not doing that, you're missing out on $880,000 every single year and more, right? So what we don't know costs us more. Just because it's not coming out of your pocket, it's supposed to be in your bank account, right? So just because it's not coming out of your pocket directly doesn't mean you're not missing out on it. So we're missing out on opportunities simply because of this right here: ignorance, not knowing, inaction, literally making a decision. Now, for those who, like when I say for those who have been following me more than a year, for more than a year and you're not doing this yet, then you are deciding to be inactive. Yeah, you have made the decision, consciously made the decision to not take action and to leave that money on the table. And I just really, my question is why? I want to know, like, why have a business if we're not really going to build a legacy business? So this time next year, I want to share some of the stories of folks, like these groups of people who's watching and listening to the sound of my voice. What is your legacy that you have built over the past 12 months? Like, I want to share your legacy and the accomplishments that you make between now and then. So anyway, that is my rant for today. Until then, why are you faking? He laughing and acting like he whining. Y'all, look at this. Look at that. This baby play too much. So anyway, and so until then, I want you guys to just, live life by design, create a game plan, live life by design, not by default. And then build a business that's profitable, but also build a business that has purpose. Okay. And build a legacy business, because you can do it. And if you want my help, I'm here to help you. Join us in the GovCon challenge. Go to govconchallenge.com. Join us in the challenge so that we can actually next year start talking about all the multiple millionaires that we have made who've taken action, who saw what inaction cost and decided to take action. So I'll see you all next Friday, right? I'll see you next Friday, and I'll see you on the inside of the GovCon challenge. See you guys soon. I know, baby, you want my attention. Okay, I mean, say bye. 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 Have a good one, you guys.